from the Germans, who are currently leading 5-2, scoring the last 2 points as breaks. I believe this is Nullacht handling for the French. Again, that motion offense. This gets in the middle. Now it should go back, and it does indeed. No continuation. And a pick call stops the play. Disc is back in play, inside forehand into the end zone, zipped right through the crowd of people, and that's a score for PUC, very much needed. 5-3 the score. The Germans still up at least 2 breaks. And now it seems like you can finally hear me. So hello and welcome everyone. This is the final of the Gentle Mixed and Open Invite. We are currently witnessing the mixed final between the French PUC and the German Nullacht. It's been a very even start of a game, but just recently the Germans broke the French twice. We've seen a lot of unforced mistakes, I would say, quite a few drops. The pulls have also been short, so based on what I can see on the camera, because I am not there on the grounds, I am commentating from the comfort of my home office. It is quite windy over in Belgium. And another midfield pull. Germans, after quite some time, are back on offense, and they waste no time. That was literally a 2-pass score. It doesn't get much easier than that. Also, perfect mixed game. A score by a female player. Unfortunately, I did pull out some rosters from the internet of Nullacht, but I think everyone who's watching at home will understand my struggle to see all the numbers. But I do believe it might have been Schenk with the assist there. In any case, I will try to do my best to identify some individuals. But if I do mix some of the names, or teams even, please be so generous and understand that this is very much a test run for everyone. We are just trying to connect all the systems to bring you more streams from all tournaments. This is a VO stream, so artificial intelligence is actually tracking the disc. It's probably far from perfect, but more games is just more fun for everyone. And that's finally a really nice pull that even rolls back a couple more meters back. I was already saying, when you couldn't really hear me, that the French seem to work with their motion offense, always making space in the middle, trying to get the disc there, and then quickly move it even backwards, just to carry on with the motion. I believe on the handler there is Manon Coin, who just passed the disc with a big OI backhand. The French fake the deep shot, but then take the in-cut. And they're now approaching the last third of the field, trying to reset the disc, not worried to go backwards. Quick swing. You can see that they are really trying to work the disc, move it. They don't let the stall count rise for more than 3 seconds. And for now, it's been working, and we could potentially witness first clean score from the French. They have been struggling a little. Big fake over the shoulder of the mark, and there it is. They hit the receiver at the front of the end zone, and they stay alive in this game. The Germans still 2 breaks up at least. Unlike you, I am unable to see the scoreboard on my screen. So you will probably be a bit better informed than me, unless I start taking notes right now, but that would be a bit too much as we are in the background trying to figure out all the details of the technical side of things. In any case, Belgium is the country who is hosting the first EUF approved tournament this year, as the European Ultimate Federation has switched to a new ranking system for the teams to work their way and earn the highest ranking possible to participate in the European Ultimate Series finals, which takes place at the end of September and beginning of October. And coincidentally, it will also take place in Belgium. So we start in Belgium and we end up in Belgium. Ooh, and an overthrow by the Germans, an uncharacteristic error. Seemed like the wind might have played a little bit of a role in that. French set up in their sort of a hexagony offense, but just the first pass is a bit of a miscommunication, ends up in the hands of the German defender, and another run through defense. And now this is a big chance for the French, as they only really need to get into the end zone. Last few meters, they'll need to be really aggressive in this. Now they're stuck on the sideline. High throw, but connected safely by the female handler. We hear the instruction of easy from the sideline. It's nothing but that in this weather and with this high level of a competition, but that's a cheeky throw, and the defender gets there on time to run through. Think people will be discussing sort of the possibility of maybe a dangerous game call, but I am not sure if this was in, or maybe even a foul potentially, if there was any contact. It's unfortunately for us too far to see. And it looks like the players will agree that it's a turnover. One more chance for the Germans to score when they started on 0. The Germans stick with quite a standard horizontal setup, but they do try to reset the disc quite religiously, and a wobble on the catch. Once more, the French in the last third of the field, and an overthrow into the end zone. That could have been such a nice girl point, as we like to call it, when 2 female players manage to connect in a mixed game. But once more, the disc will be brought to the beginning of the end zone. This time the handler decides to go deep, but he will not get the deep shot he might have been aiming for at the beginning. But now this is a really good movement through the break side. The French not setting up the mark on time. Interesting choice of a dump throw, but it gets collected nonetheless. Here's going to be a lefty backhand backwards, and I believe this is Gideon Schenk, one of the main handlers. And great defense by the French, great awareness, making sure the disc is caught rather than just smacked down. And a third chance for the French to get a break, but an overthrow. Disc goes out of bounds. And let me see if I can get the number of the person picking up the disc. I think it's Sebastian Schreiber, who puts out a huge backhand ripper. So many people underneath it, but just out of the end zone. It is collected by Schenk, who passes a quick backhand into the end zone. And the German offense does it eventually. We see some pats on the back to Schreiber, who might have not been so happy about his throw. I'm not sure if he intended it exactly that way, trusting that Schenk will be jumping high enough to beat all his defenders. There were 3 of them in the end. Or if he just missed through the throw a little bit. So I'm getting some feedback that the field audio is still quite loud compared to my commentary. So we will be trying to fix that. As we said, there's still a few things to figure out. If you do have feedback for us, there should be a link available for you to fill out a feedback form to help us improve the quality of these VO streams to bring you the most value we can. French back on offense. We see moving people from the middle of the field quite quickly, creating space. A prime example of the motion offense. And of course, as I say that, the German defender reads the play perfectly, gets in the way of the pass, smacks it away while poaching. Another chance for the Germans to break. This time, their D-line goes with a vertical line. Nice high grab, leaving no space for the defender to get a hand on the disc. Now the German line set up a little too deep for my liking, but they get a good chance to go through the break side. Now looking for the dump once more. The VO camera looking for the disc a little bit. And just as it finds it, the disc sails over the head of number 37. It could be Annika Behrendt, according to my information. And PUC back on offense. For PUC, I unfortunately don't have any numbers. I do have names, but don't have numbers. So I will have to stick with male-female handler cutter. Here they are, looking off some of the open options downfield. And here's an inside break. It almost looked like it was going to be a huck, but got intercepted in the middle of the field. Lots of work with the give and goes, handlers really making sure that the disc keeps moving, but this one is too low. I believe that was a backhand, a bit of a lazy throw. It is quite difficult in adverse weather conditions to throw passes that are not 100% on spot. The Germans forced to go backwards and they take a timeout, knowing that this break could be the last nail in the coffin for the French to sort of stop trying or understand that they have come to win this final. So as the players take a break to discuss what to do next and how to surprise their opponent, I will take a little break in the commentary studio as well. of the mixed final at Gentle Invite is over. PUC currently losing 4-7 to the German team Nullacht from Münster, Germany. The Germans will be looking to take half with this break. And the French will do everything in their power to stay in this first half and try to lower the difference. The Gentle Invite being the first EUF-approved tournament this season, which means that teams are able to collect their first points towards the European ranking. Lovely deep shot, but a tiny bit too low. The French get in the way. One more chance for them to score. PUC being one of those teams who is currently collecting points, unlike the Germans who have decided to use this only as a practice tournament. Lots of touches by the French, a pick call, meaning that one of the German players could not follow their player because they were physically prevented from chasing them by the body of another player. It doesn't matter whether on offense or defense. The French continue towards the sideline, looking for options to attack the end zone immediately. No reset there. Upline stopped nicely by the mark. They swing it wide, continue through the break side, but this is a high one again, and nicely chased by the German defender, snatching it out of the air, not giving the other French receiver in the back of the end zone a chance to remedy the errant throw. Germans, will they take the half? They do have a person cutting deep, but another defender pulled away from their player to prevent that deep shot. But here they wind up, two defenders underneath. But this is so close to it would have been in the end zone, but it is dropped, unfortunately. But a good job by German defense, leaving the French to go the full length of the field once more. They're really making the French work hard for every point. We've only seen a couple of clean O points in this game so far. This point has been going on for quite a while. Even though it did include a timeout, the players do seem a little bit tired. And now the French have lost the disc straight in front of their own end zone, and this will be an opportunity. I don't think the Germans will let them get the disc back anymore. So one handler in the back, everyone else in the end zone. They will be looking to isolate the front player. Forced to go for a reset, but it's going to be a Hail Mary scoober into the break side. Who gets there first? It will be a German receiver, and that is halftime for the Germans. With a little bit of luck and lots of pressure on defense, the Germans take the half over the French 8-4, and we see the French still trying to hype themselves up to stay in the game and keep positive in their head. After all, this is a final of a prestigious tournament, and every win counts. If not towards the ranking, then towards the mental energy the teams and clubs will carry on to the rest of the season. So out of halftime, unfortunately, the French will start on defense again. So not much has changed from the last point. And as the Germans look to increase the point difference once more, they go for a reset backwards. Quite open on the in cuts. And a beautiful continuation, wide backhand into the end zone, and that was a clean, quite quick score for the Germans as they go up 9-4. So PUC in a little bit of a pickle here, with a 5-point difference, this kind of weather, the game time getting shorter and shorter. They will really have to dig into their mental capacities to make a bit of a comeback in this game if they want to have a chance to give this German team a slightly better game. It did look quite even at the beginning, but it seems like the Germans have cleaned up their game a bit quicker than the French, and it was enough to give them the advantage and the upper hand in the game, resulting in this 5-point difference. Once again, we're looking for feedback to improve these VO stream games. If you do have some, there should be a link in the stream to ask questions, give comments, and let us know if there's anything that we can do to improve your experience of these AI streams. And here's a nice wide forehand to the side, front cone of the end zone. The French stopped the game with what I believe was a foul, as one of the French players ended up on the ground in the front corner of the end zone. This could be a clean hold, something very much needed by the French right now. And a short little pass into the end zone will be a score. I cannot see much more than you at your screens as I am commentating this game remotely. But good job by the French, keeping their head in the game, giving their defense a chance to turn the game back in their favor. 9-5 currently the score in this final. So like I was saying, please give us feedback on these AI run streams. I am not AI. I'm sure that AI might sound slightly better. I am a little rusty after all. I've had more than a year of a commentary break, but we did need somebody to be available and do this test run. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for watching and listening and helping us improve. Thank you for the teams, to the teams for playing this excellent final. You see the typical handler trio of the Germans in the background. Oh, and the French coming out in a zone, trying to change things up, see what works. But so far, the Germans quite unfazed, making sure they pull back more than 3 people, looking for the holes in the first cup. They do find them. Lefty backhand, swinging the disc to the side. Not too much pressure on the resets there, and yet the Germans still manage to go forwards. Here's a big shot across the field. French wing thinking that they could get a hand on it, but then eventually they decide to pull back, making sure they don't leave anyone in the end zone open. Nullacht making it look quite easy, almost just stepping around, throwing very informally almost around the French defenders. And the French defenders almost just waiting for a throwing mistake, which is not coming so far. And the Germans now very close in the end zone. And a forehand shot ends in another clean hold for Nullacht. But the score is not Nullacht, meaning 0-8 in German, but it is 10-5. 5-point difference for the Germans preserved. And a great pull all the way to the front of the French end zone. The Germans with loads of time to get there and set up the mark on time. Big breakthrow, lots of pressure from German defense, but the French continue. They try to go for the give and go, decide to go for the safer options, but keep moving quickly downfield. They have covered the first 3 quarters very, very quickly, and now they're knocking on the doorstep as they decide to cool things down a little bit. Handler tries to step around, no call, but that's an overthrown dump pass, one of the most painful things to see, at least for myself as a player. And Germans with one more chance to break. The handler picks up even before his teammates are set up, but it doesn't seem to be a problem as they can move the disc in between the handlers. A pick call will turn the disc back towards the original thrower. In the background we can see some other games being played out. Placement games in both the mixed and open category. The 2 divisions that are featured in this first EUF approved tournament of the season. Disc centered back. Big backhand wind up. They're both going in the end zone. Great read by the German player. And an easy pop forehand into the end zone. Wide open receiver. One more break for the Germans as they go up 11-5 over the French. 4 more points. And they will be the winner of Gentle Mixed and Open Invite. That is, of course, if they manage to do 4 breaks in a row, which I'm sure is something that PUC will not allow. But in fairness, it would be a real struggle to make a comeback this late in the game. But we have seen it happen in any case. But as I said, as Nullacht is not counting their games towards the EUCS ranking, while PUC does, this game will not count towards anyone's ranking. So it will only be the games against between the teams where both teams have agreed that they won the game to count towards against the ranking, so where they do want to collect the points, where such games matter in the European Cup season system. So lots of innovation, lots of new things coming your way this season. If anyone has wrapped their head around the algorithm, the Germans say "Hut up," meaning I'm taking down my hat for you because you are a very experienced, very knowledgeable person. I think all the rest of us will just see how things go as the season moves along. Another pick. Quite a few in this game. Oh, this seems... Never mind, this is not a pick, it is an injury. And a German player is going to be looking to sub, giving the French a chance to switch one of their players on the field as well. And it seems like the injury call occurred before the throw. I can't see right now. Yes, they are exchanging a player. So it occurred before the throw, so the disc will go back as well. The French sticking with their hexagon setup, probably trying to perfect it for other games of the season. Nice break throw down the line. Wide swing. Carry on to the other sideline. I do believe this is Coin by the looks of it and the movement she does. That reset pass doesn't work, but luckily another player goes for an inside forehand throw, which works out. Now the French really just need a good throw into the end zone. A high grab in the middle. No continuation. So much pressure from the Germans. Here it is, and it will be too far once more. Great pressure from Nullacht, forcing PUC to go through the break side and really making those throws difficult. It pays off. So the Germans trying to get this game done quickly. Probably ready to go home. They go for a vertical setup. And a deep shot goes up. Great separation. And almost straight into the end zone. They decide to go for one more pass. Great effort by the French defender. He even congratulates his opponent with a high five. And that's another break for the Germans. 12-5 currently the score. They increase the point difference by yet another one. Getting closer and closer to the magic 15. Germans pull one more time. To PUC. Wide fakes. You see the coaches from the Germans, and we already saw that the handler throwing that disc walked away from the spot straight away, thinking that this was not how he intended to execute that throw. Sails out of bounds eventually, not even giving the chance to either the defenders and the intended receiver to catch that. see if the Germans keep their focus and their energy to really carry on with scoring cleanly. They reset the disc, try to get it towards the middle. Nope, they continue down the sideline, but that disc too low. And the French back on 0. A big backhand swing, once more better by the defender than the intended receiver, and we have the Germans striking deep straight away. They do decide against it, but then they take the backhand, and the receiver's still there. What a lovely shot. So well weighted by the Germans. 13-5. Another break. So leaving the French really scoring only 1 point in the second half so far. And it seems like the French will take a timeout, trying to put their heads together one more time and come up with a way to make this final a bit more even and at least learn something in the process, if not win it. And as the players connect in their respective huddles, we will take a little break in the commentary booth. So with less than 10 minutes on the clock, these two teams in the mixed final of Gentle Invite Open and Mixed are taking their positions to start the next point once more. The French theatrically almost stopping the German pole. They will be looking to score at least another point in the second half. So far they've managed only one. The Germans really taking them by surprise in the second half with their clinical offense and tight person defense or match defense. The French a little bit stubborn with sticking with their motion offense, but then again this game does not count towards the ranking as Nullacht are not trying to collect points in this tournament for the European Ultimate Club Series. So they might have chosen to just pick this game as a practice game where they really try to perfect some of their tactics and some of their new setups. They're now knocking on the doorstep, lefty backhand, and the disc gets knocked out of hand, but it will be called a foul. We see a German player down. There really was quite some legs tangled up in that upline cut. It almost seemed like the player caught it and then dropped it, potentially due to the contact, but of course the camera angle is not close enough for us to see, so we will leave that to the sideline there to help the players judge the call on the field. Of course, in Ultimate, no referees, so you only have yourself, your teammates, and your opponents to work with. You have to eventually decide on the point of view that you will go with, and it looks like this will just go back as the players probably did not agree on the outcome, which is completely fine. and it allows the French to keep possession. They go backwards, swing the disc towards the middle, and attack the end zone once more. That was a really nice cut around the defender, who then tries to remedy letting their player into the open side by laying out. But that's a score for PUC. Second one in the second half. 13-6 the score. And it seems like the timeout that the French took before this point really paid off, as they managed to stay alive and potentially let this game play out until the end of game time. The game is 17 minutes long. They started at 3:40, so 3:50, about 6 minutes left of playtime right now. And we will see if the French will look to put on maybe a power line for this defensive point, trying to squeeze out a break from the Germans, which I don't think they have done all game long. Trying out different defensive tactics. We even saw a zone a couple of points ago. And this looks like a different zone look. A bit of an arrowhead, maybe. Can't break them, at least slow them down. That might be a useful skill in some other games. Not necessarily this one, as the game time is approaching. Ooh, this was a contested catch on the other side of the field. The Germans otherwise moving with ease, always finding the free person. Almost lazy pivoting from the Germans. Find the mismatch. Now a nice gainer downfield. This move to the handlers almost immediately. Slicing through the zone with ease and nonchalance, right outside of the end zone, looking to jump it in. And they do so in style. What a high OI forehand. Backside corner, no chance for the defender. And the Germans 1 point away from the magical border of 15 points, which ends the game. So a first potential game point on our hands if the Germans can break in this point. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here are the French. Right behind the midfield line, moving the disc backwards. Match D. Lots of pressure right now. A great upline throw. Lefty follow up, just outside the end zone. They finally get away through the break side, and there is the score. That might have been the quickest and best point so far from the French. Quite smooth going through the break side. It is quite surprising, though, seeing the PUC setup, that you can tell that they want to go through the break side, yet they are mostly making space in the open side. But it worked anyway in this point. So staying alive, 14-7. Let's see if they will try to make a final push, or if the Germans are ready to go home. So a shorter pull. It doesn't quite make it to the middle of the field. And this time we see a slightly different handler setup with two female handlers in the back. Choosing for the guys to run. There's a nice upline pass. Also a great gainer. They go through the middle, carry on, quick give and go. And just like that, they're in front of the end zone. And a break side throw will finish the game at tippy-toe on the end zone line. And that's a huge win for the Germans. Nullacht winning 15-7 over the French team PUC. And that is it. That is the end of the mixed final of this first EUF approved tournament of the season. We will have many more to come, starting with spring invites, elite invites, etc., etc. If you still want to include your tournament in the EUF ranking system, do so. There's still space to do that, and you can sign up or register your tournament or your game at the EUF website. You will find a detailed set of instructions there on how to do it. Thank you so much for watching this stream. It was a first for us all. Remote commentary, VO connected to our new sports provider, Solid Sports. My name is Rachel Dushnerova, and it was a pleasure to commentate today for you. Thank you for keeping up with us, with EUF, with the tournaments, with the players, with your favorite clubs. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully it will all get fixed soon, and we will be able to provide as much value as possible with these streams. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you at some other EUF tournaments very soon.